Hello everybody, welcome back to the video, and today we're ending the behind the scenes series for the best Doctor Who stories. So, we have knocked out a bunch of these. Good news is I already know some that I want to remove. So let's start there. We're going to remove 10th Planet. We have a lot of Cybermen content, so I think it's safe to say. Also, we have another iconic monster story from the Hartnell era. Actually, you know what? Let's continue with ones that I want to keep in consideration. So, Evil of the Daleks and War Games. We're definitely keeping those. So another easy one. We're gonna remove Power of the Doctor. A good story for 13, but I don't think the best. We're also gonna remove Spyfall. So that means 13's winner is. So our 13th Doctor representative is going to be Villa Diodati. Okay. So we're going to remove Mummy on the Orient Express for Capaldi. And we're going to remove The 11th Hour for Matt Smith. We're going to remove Battlefield for Sylvester McCoy. We're going to remove Dalek for 9. And we're also going to remove Fury from the Deep as well. Which I think I actually meant to do last time, but I didn't. So, anyway. We're also, I think we're going to write them down. I think Villa, we'll put it number 10 for now. We'll see. It might move around. Alright, let's keep going with this. Heaven Sent. We'll put it, because Heaven Sent is definitely staying. So, Heaven Sent. We'll put it number 5 for now. We'll see where that goes. Massacre. I'm thinking somewhere in this range, because we're keeping the Massacre. I think we're going to remove the Sea Devils and the Three Doctors, which I think I actually meant to remove those last time. I think we're going to remove Resurrection. We're going to keep Caves as well. So Caves is definitely staying. So let's see. All right. So Regeneration Stories, War Games over Caves. So let's put Caves as 4th for now. We'll come back to that one. You know what? I'm going to change my mind. And Three Doctors is going to stay. We're going to remove Day of the Doctor. I think that Genesis of the Daleks. You're saying we've got 3 Tom Bakers. These all aren't going to be able to fit on the list. So I think Genesis is the first cut. I think I got to cut Earthshock for Davison. And I'm going to cut Resurrection as well. 2 Doctors. I think maybe Ultimate Foe. I'm going to cut Remembrance of the Daleks. Better Dalek stories on the list. I think having it at 7 would be okay. 7 or 8. But Curse of Fenric is also really good as well. I'm going to cut the TV movie as well. Human Nature, Family of Blood. I'm putting it number 7, I think. Tenet's best performance, and he isn't even playing the Doctor. It's just a fantastic performance by Tennant. So Human Nature goes there. I'm thinking Remembrance, I'm going to put ninth for now. We'll see, might move. I'm kind of... Okay, so Massacre, I'm thinking 11th. Thinking 11th place for the Massacre. So we're going to stick it there at 11th, see where that goes. Husbands of River Song. A great Capaldi episode, really allows him to flex his comedy muscles. You know what? I'm going to bump Villa down to 14th, I think. That's too high, I think, for it. Good story, and easily one I'll be okay to call the only Whittaker representative on the list. I'm going to put Husbands of River Song at 10th, I think. All right. Best part, we decided Terror of the Autons. You know what? I'm actually going to drop Heaven Sent to 6th. And I'm going to put Terror of the Autons at 5th. Alright, so Terror of the Autons be at 5th. And I'm doing this because I like the story. It's also a very important one. It introduces Jo Grant and also the Master, the show's best villain, in my opinion. So, Terror of the Autons. Okay. Pyramids of Mars. I watched this one again recently, and it was a lot of fun. Easily, I think now, my favorite Baker story. And, okay, it seems like I'm really bashing Heaven Sent. It's a fantastic episode. I think I'm going to bump these two. Heaven Sent and Human Nature. They're going to bump down one place, and Pyramids will go at 6th. So, Human Nature, and then Heaven Sent. And then Pyramids of Mars will be 6th place, I think. So, pretty good position. So, Matt Smith. Oh, Vincent and the Doctor is a great one. Oh, I've kind of put myself into a corner here. There's so many great ones. Let's go ahead and put lines through what I've already talked about. Silence in the Library. Nature. Pyramids of Mars. Oh man, this is difficult. Massacre. I'm going to put The Chase on here, I think. But do I? Let's figure out 12, 13, 15. And I think I haven't really touched Colin Baker. The Two Doctors is really underrated in my opinion. So we're going to put Two Doctors as number 15. Okay, so we have Remembrance of the Daleks. The Curse of Fenric is also great. I'm thinking about changing those. We'll come back to that. We do not have Matt Smith on here at all. I think I gotta drop something else. Because I gotta have Vincent and the Doctor, which I think is really the 11th Hour is great, but Vincent and the Doctor is easily fantastic. thinking dropping Human Nature down to 12th and putting Swap. That's really low. I'm going to put Human Nature 12th. And then I'm going to put Vincent and the Doctor at 8th. We'll see if that sticks. So, Vincent and the Doctor, really great story, and a fantastic historical and probably one of the most interesting portrayals of a historical figure on the show. Truly an incredible story. All right, so, let's see. What could I put on here now? I know the Troughton era. I knew going into this series, I knew the top two were going to be Evil of the Daleks and the War Games. So we'll get back to that, but just so you know, these are the top two. I really want to put an Eccleston here. Do I go with the Empty Child, or do I go with Bad Wolf? I do have this extra space here. Let's go ahead and remove Christmas Carol as well. Talk about Vincent and the Doctor. I don't think School Reunion will make the cut. Talk about Remembrance, Two Doctors. I don't think that one will either. So that leaves the Chase as a wild card. Chase, Web of Fear, Mind of Evil, Deadly Assassin. Those are sort of our wild cards. You know what? I just realized it's funny. The highest ranking Hartnell I have on here, the first Doctor doesn't really appear in it. But, I think. This is a close list. But ultimately, I think... and I can change this. I think I'm going to put Mind of Evil at number 13. So I think it's a great story from the show's best season. So Mind of Evil at 13th. So Evil of the Daleks, the War Games, those are in the top. So those are the top two, and then you have an Eccleston competing for third. I think I'm going to go with... Here's the thing. I think Parting of the Ways by itself is a fantastic episode. But the first part of that two-parter, Bad Wolf, kind of sinks it. So if you're talking about just the Parting of the Ways, easily in the top 3 for the entire show. Easily one of the best regeneration performances. You know, outgoing doctors. The best last stand for any of them. Because Eccleston absolutely knows. Well, Eccleston's doctor, absolutely knows this is his last fight. But at the same time, the Empty Child two-parter is consistently strong all the way throughout. I'm going to remove one of these so I can put Parting of the Ways on here. So Empty Child is third place. Alright, so let's remove one of these. And I feel like the one I could probably... I just realized have I really placed The Haunting of Villa Diodati as the best Cybermen story? I have. Okay, I did not even think about that, but there you go. Yeah, okay. Didn't realize I did that. Alright, so... Alright, out of these... Man. I'm gonna cut I'm gonna cut the 2 doctors. No. Yeah, I'm gonna cut the 2 doctors. That's the one I'm cutting, and I'm gonna put Parting the Ways at 15th. So, Parting of the Ways at 15th. So now we get to the top 2. These are both great stories. Highly would recommend. Fantastic performances by Troughton. Incredible. But they're both 10 out of 10s. And also, I think, some of the best stuff I've seen. But for right now, it's close. These could change any day, but number 2 is War Games. Fantastic send-off for Patrick Troughton. I think the saddest companion departure, definitely the most underrated. Everyone talks about, Donna getting her memory erased. Jamie and Zoe were the first ones to suffer that fate. And the way that Troughton performs the line, "They won't remember me, will they?" It's so sad. So, yeah, the War Games is fantastic. Some people might say it's too long. I think it earns its 10-episode runtime perfectly. Which means number 1 will be Evil of the Daleks. I think that this is a fantastic story. The Emperor Dalek is a big threat, and I just realized that the bookends are the 2 appearances of the Emperor Dalek. I did not intend to do that. But, definitely, I think this is one of the most interesting Dalek stories because they're all pretty much the same thing. The Daleks show up, they conquer somewhere, they exterminate, boom, 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 the Doctor stops them. This one is a scientific experiment, which is a new format for the show. Well, it's not a new format, but it's one that hasn't really been done before. And then there's that great cliffhanger at episode 6 where, this whole time you've been thinking that the Daleks want to use the human factor. And then the Emperor just says, "That's useless. This whole thing was to show us what the Dalek factor was." And then you see that the TARDIS has been held on Skaro this whole time. And the Emperor says to the Doctor, to close out the episode, "You will take the Dalek factor and spread it through the history of Earth." It is an incredible cliffhanger and my favorite one from the show. The performances, this story is mostly missing. And the performances are some of the best. I think this is Fraser Hines' best story as Jamie. It's just incredible. I honestly think Evil of the Daleks is incredible. I've said a few times I prefer it over Power, but I just think it's a better story. I think it's better paced, which is funny considering it's an episode longer than Power, and it also has more of a good plot. Power honestly probably could have been a 5 or even a 4-parter. So there you have it. This is the final list. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. It was sort of more of an experimental series. People don't really talk about why they do this. They just sort of upload it onto YouTube. And so I wanted to show my thought process, getting it from every Doctor Who story to these 15. And for right now, I'm happy with this. It could change on a given day. There's so many great ones. But for right now, this is the best. That's it for this video. Like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.